I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. Really, that money. That money.
Anyway, we'll talk more about that in a second, okay? Let's continue now talking about the marathon and how it went, okay? So let's talk about the games that I played during the marathon. Obviously, Factorio didn't really work. So what else did I play? The first game that everyone voted on was chess. And here's the thing about chess. I like chess. It's a game that makes you think. It's a game that makes you feel like, you really have to put intelligent thought into it. It's not one of these games where you can really coast. But at the same time, number one, I hadn't played chess since I was a teenager. Okay? And number two, I've never played speed chess ever. I've never played any kind of timed version of chess. I've only played chess where people are playing against each other and there's infinite time limit. So I got my ass handed to me because I was playing a game that not only was I rusty at, but they were forcing my hand to play. So either I took too long and I lost the timeout, or I had to rush and made bad moves. So to give you some perspective here, I think I played 6 games. The only games that I won because my opponents quit. Okay? So I won 2 games to forfeit. Then 3 whopping games I lost to timeout because the time would run out. That's just wild to me. I lost 3 games to timeout. 1 game, a guy was really good, and he kicked my ass. He checkmated me. I was like, okay, that guy was pretty darn good, admittedly. But there was a game, no lie, I was winning. I still had my queen. The other guy had almost no pieces left, and I still had my queen. All I had to do was get his king into a checkmate position, and I ran out of time and lost the forfeit because the time ran out. I'm like, oh my God. So here's the thing about chess. I enjoyed it. I actually did. I had a good time playing it. The audience, not so much. I'm not even kidding. A lot of the audience was complaining, saying this is boring. And I'm like, but you know what chess is, right? Like chess is a thinking man's game. You've got to focus on the game. You got to think moves ahead. And it was very difficult for me to do that. It was because I was trying to do that while interacting with chat and maintaining things like shout outs for contributions. It was very difficult. So not only do I have to focus on the game and timed moves, but I also have to focus on being here with you guys and being entertaining to the audience. I was like, oh man, this is a lot. It's one thing to try to relearn chess at an accelerated rate, but then to also run a stream, it would kick my butt. This is something that I feel like if we decided to actually keep going and maybe once in a while play chess, I feel like it's something I could get better at and would be way more entertaining for the audience as well as I get better at juggling the two. I know that I did very poorly playing chess and juggling the chat. It's, admittedly, that's something that's going to be taking time to get better at, all right? So I would say it's up to you guys. Do you guys want to see chess moving forward? I'd be down for it, but I don't see how well that's going to work unless you're okay with me having a very, strong, sharp learning curve here, trying to learn it and kind of sucking for a while before I even do anything meaningful in chess, all right? It's up to you. Let's see what people have to say about that, okay? Second game I played was Lollipop Chainsaw. And man, if you ever want a textbook case of a game that did not age well, a game that aged like milk, they say, correct? Lollipop Chainsaw is it, okay? This was a game that when it released back in like 2012, this game was everything that I was into. Why? Because I had an immature young audience who wanted over-the-top sexual content and gore. So a game starring a scantily clad, teenage cheerleader murdering zombies with a chainsaw to a very weird soundtrack was kind of the perfect combination for a playthrough for me, okay? But today, it's the complete and polar opposite of the kind of content that I enjoy really making. The game has little to no substance at all. The writing is incredibly cringe. The gameplay is insanely repetitive. And even though this game was sold as a redone version, it pretty much is exactly the same, except the graphics are better, which is bizarre. To see this game have like modern lighting and modern reflection effects, but then to be this game that the gameplay is very primitive and the character models are bad, it's just like, oh, it's just a weird like abomination of a game. It's like a Frankenstein's monster. Like you should have just left it dead, but someone came with shock paddles and shocked it alive again, and it came up and it was all decayed, like, and now you're like, oh, what do we do here? You know? So I played it for an hour, and here's the thing: when I first started playing it, I'm like, all right, I'm getting into it, trying to learn the combos again or whatever. And then I remembered, oh yeah, this game basically it starts off really bad, but as you play more, you unlock combos and abilities that make the game more fun. The problem is you have to play for hours till the game becomes fun. If I remember, by the end of the game, it actually is fun because you've unlocked enough abilities that you're doing crazy combos and stuff. But it's such a grind to get there that the early stages of the game are quite boring. And I played for about an hour, and we got to this point where we're in a gymnasium, and there's a bomb, and there's zombies with like fire attached to their bodies trying to go blow up this bomb. And it's like, stop the zombies from touching the fire. Like, stop 24 of them. Wait, what? It's like, here comes the first zombie. Okay, you got to go kill that zombie. It takes like, 20, 30 seconds to kill this. Here comes the second zombie. Okay, I'm going to go kill the second zombie now. Okay, I'm killing this. Here comes the third zombie. Oh, a third zombie. Okay. And there's no variation. They're all the same. It's just boring as dirt. I was like, dude, I can't play this anymore. Well, I just can't. Like, that's a perfect example. When I started on YouTube 16 plus years ago, that was the kind of game that people like to see Darkside Phil play, because I was always making sexual comments, because zombies were all the rage at the time. Remember, The Walking Dead and everything were humongous at this time period in gaming. So everyone was all about it. And it ended up being a perfect playthrough. I finished the game in one sitting. It's only like a 6 to 7 hour game. So I ended up finishing it in one sitting. I pumped out the playthrough in a day, returned it right to GameStop for a giant refund, and ended up buying more games with it, right? Today, it's just not a game that fits anything anyone I think would want, including me. It's boring. It's cringe. It's not funny. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even for the time period. Like, the zombie gameplay is so outdated. No one cares about that shit anymore. So it's just like a 13-year-old relic of the past. I get it. Like, if I were to ever experience that game again, I probably would just want to watch my old playthrough, like do a retro react stream where I watch and react to my original playthrough of it and to cringe at my old comments and stuff. But man, I do not want to play that game again, you know? So I played an hour of it. I was like, all right, I think we all got our taste of it. Time to move on. And then we did. Okay. So, and then we had played Factorio. By far, the hidden gem of the marathon, a game that I knew nothing about whatsoever,